Alright, hello, 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 hello. I am just changing the music here. Good enough. Let me head on over to this other screen. Hopefully all my stuff is... Come on. It's not already? What? Really? DPS not showing? Why isn't DPS showing? Come on, Streamlabs. You do this every single time. Or at least Foundry is showing. Okay. There we go. Oh, hold on. Need to angle my webcam. There we go. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Hello, Twitch. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Internet. How are you all doing today? How has your day been? My day has been fantastic. It has been amazing. And I had a lot of inspiration today at work about what I want to do today. So, if my DPS would actually like properly load, which I think it will load properly on the biggest screen. Let's see, does it load properly here? Hold on one second. How do I? I need to get used to this again. There we go. Okay. So, we are going to be making a map today. We are going to be making a big map today. And we're basically just going to be doing a dungeon. As the title implies, we are doing a dungeon. We are creating the Crypt of Saint Urail. One second, let me make sure this is actually fitted right. Center, stretch the screen. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Sadly, I can't get it to show on this screen that you guys are currently seeing. So we're going to have to go to our other screen, our bigger live scene. So, just one magic click away and whoosh. Okay, so this is what we're working on today. So we have this. Let me just move my OBS over to this screen. Lovely. And actually, I'm not sure if I really like this music. I'm going to go through some of the music selections that we have here just quickly and see which one I like. Not easily forgotten. How about this one? Does sound kind of spooky. Yeah, I think this is good. Let's go for it until we get bored of it. Okay, so you guys might be looking at this map and being like, why is there a massive lava flow going through it? Or you might not be. If so, then I apologize for assuming stuff. But what we have here is we have a map, and as you can see, I've only got it half made. This is where the players are going to enter in from. This is the antechamber, I believe. And what the plan is they are going to come in through here. And they're going to walk up to here, and they're going to see a magically locked door. And this locked door prevents all passage through it. And I say all, quote unquote, because the players might still find a way around it. I recently given one of my players what I call a Ring of the Mineral Rat. And what that will allow him to do is to pass through up to 30 feet of solid stone as if he were earth gliding straight through it. So that might pose a bit of a challenge when it comes to dungeon design, because if he can just get around here, then I need to be prepared for that, right? So in order to unlock this door right here, what I want them to do is I want them to go around and collect stuff from the dungeon. And one of the stuff that they're going to find is way over here. So this here is going to be one of the stuff that I need them to find. And I don't know what the stuff is yet. But we'll work on that for a second. We'll work on that a bit later. I might have to work on that a bit off screen. But for now, I just want to design traps. So, this room here is probably the most interesting room right now. It's one of the most well-decorated rooms that I have made. And in here, I actually plan to have an enemy encounter. As you can see, there is a large pool of lava, or magma, whichever one it is. I'm not sure, I didn't pass geography in my GCSEs in high school. Yeah, we have magma going through. So the idea behind what's going on here, this crypt is located inside what I call the Furor Mountains, and Furor means anger, I think in Latin or something. And the whole idea around the Furor Mountains, let me go ahead and show you on Foundry where this is located, so that transition back to Foundry. Let's go over to our massive world map here. And I say massive, it could be bigger. The Furo Mountains are over here, so I could, or over here. I'm not sure yet. One of the two. It's still in quantum existence right now. So let me grab. That is not the right thing to grab. 1 second. Where is the text? There we go. So grab this, move it over here. And now let's grab this and move it over here. So basically what I want to create is amounts to essentially Death Valley. So I have taken a look and there is actually a place called Angry Mountain. Let me see, Angry Mountain. Or Anger Mountain. It's apparently in the United States, in Packwood. And it's called Angry Mountain Trailhead. Let me see if I can get for you some of the... 1 second here. How would I do this? How would I show you guys this? Let me see. Mountain paths. Just doing a quick Google search on... Excuse me. Mountain paths here. And I kind of want to see if I can find some of the stuff that I'm basing this around. No, Google doesn't really give me what I want. So basically what I want is like a dry cliff face. Yeah, I basically want a dry cliff face, kind of like... Oh, I think I know a good place to go. Let's go to Google Maps. Let me move this over here. You guys hopefully can't see this. At least not yet. There we go. Let me move this and get this positioned where I want it. So I believe it is somewhere around... Where was it? Is it around here? Let me see if I can get this online for you guys. So that, my OneNote, that will be my OneNote. Let me close that. I think I need to set up a new screen region. So I can just do that by doing this. Browser. There we go. Move this down here, and then let me set this to what I want it to be. Hello? Oh, I just created a folder. I am... I don't know how this works. Okay, create new source. Screen capture, sure. OneNote? No, not OneNote. New. Browser. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Grab this, and now let's, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. Is there any way to use Google Maps without, Yeah, okay, if I just sign out of all accounts, that should work, right? Continue. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, cool. Okay, this hides all of my sensitive information. Fantastic. So, I can transition over to this screen here. Let me actually move this down. Like, there we go. And there we go. So, what I actually want is I want to place it similar to this, I believe it was this region around here. This is what? Is this the Grand Canyon? Glen Canyon. Okay, sure. This is apparently Glen Canyon. And if I grab this, let's see what we can find around here. So if we position this around here, not quite what I'm imagining. I want it to be a lot more rocky, a lot more mountainous than what we're seeing here. So let's give this another go. This should do it. Oh wow, look at this place. Holy cow. This place is luxurious. Wow. But no, I don't want that place either. Where is it that I'm looking for? Is it more down here in Chihuahua? Let's see. No, there was a place here that I wanted to base this on, to base this area that I'm working on off of. And I think, words, or pictures speak louder than words. Actually, was it around here? Where is Salt? Oh, Salt Lake is right here. Fantastic, okay. I remember being like, I want there to be some sort of salt lake nearby. So let's see where we can put this guy. I want to put it sort of like in the mountain ranges, or at least where I think of mountain ranges. I am completely unfamiliar with this entire area. This is way too flat. I don't want it to be too flat. I want it to be more mountainous. Like, this looks like a mountain. Oh my goodness, this looks so nice. This looks so nice. Look at that mountain over there in the distance. What is that? Oh my goodness. This is literally picturesque. I mean, somebody probably, yeah, this person probably stood here and actually took the picture. So, of course. But no, it is, I remember actually, hold on a second. I remember something. Bath. There was, here we go. One second. Wait, what? I'm trying to find where this thing was. Where is it? Okay, here we go. So it is Death Valley. So let's do Death Valley. Here we go. I remember there being, funnily enough, I remember there being a duck in a, like a rubber duck inside a bath full of like pebbles of some kind in one of these pictures around here. And I was like, yeah, I want to base a D&D area around this place. Nope. Okay, Death Valley. This is Death Valley, right? Yeah, it's at Death Valley National Park. So it should be somewhere around here. So let's see where we can plop our little man. How about around here? Yeah, this is more like it. This is exactly what I imagine. Okay, so I imagine for Furor Mountain, the area that we're placing this dungeon in, it looks very similar to this. So as you can see, there's like these dry rock faces exposed, kind of like leaving the staggered like effect to it, right? And it just looks hostile. And then over here on this side, what? I mean, you can see that there are literally like exposed layers of rock to the left and right. So this is kind of like how I imagine this area that I'm trying to build up to be like. Of course, since it's fantasy, I can make it much greater, right? Let's see where else we can find. What is this? This is a highway? Yeah, that's a highway. Okay, we want to stay clear of the highways because highways don't tend to go through mountains. Let's see, where's another good place? What about up here? Yeah, this was also another good example. So I want it to be a so it would be cool to have it be a gravelly road like this. So what is that? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, basically I want this area to be inspired by Death Valley of some effect. One second, I need to go blow my nose. Okay. Yeah, so this is what the area is going to basically amount to. So if let's turn this off for now, and that is going to be around this area in Cinderia here, I think. And as you can see, it is actually like really close to Superbia. But what is going to how I'm implementing this area is there is a primordial spirit of land and fire here. So it is the essence of nature itself that is located here, or at least some degree of it. Most of it was actually fractured off from Elos a very long time ago, even before recorded history, with like geographical tectonic movements and all that. And it split off into a land over into this direction. And that is where the main, what I call the spirit of land and fire is located, right? But a small portion of that entity, of that creature, of that essence, is still here within this mountain range. So, that is what's going on here, and that is why, there's lava in that room that I was talking about. Let me head on back over to, yeah, That is why there is lava here. And now I want the area to be hostile. I want it to be angry. What else can I tell you about this dungeon? Well, this dungeon is actually where the Anthology of Saint Urail is. So if some of you remember from my previous streams, I was talking about this Anthology of Saint Urail. There's this heretical book that Cinderia does not want to have leaked to the public, right? And Gallibly, who are the enemies of Cinderia, found out where this book was and have been sent to go and collect them. Unfortunately, the commander who was sent to go and get it was attacked by an alien and then captured by Cinderia. Her memory had been broken, and her memory has been broken, and she is basically being held captive until her memory can be restored. That is the quest that the party is currently participating in. They went to the town of Cades, found the memory stones of this commander called Larissa Vale Varys, and are currently in the process of returning and going to give back her memories, or at least decide what to do. They've just discovered a secondary area in the memory cave, which is going to give them the precise information that they missed the first time about where to find this this book. So this gives the players the opportunity to go to this area first if they want, and do whatever they want with the book. Now, of course, it's more of a side mission because it's not actually relevant to the main story beats of what's going on in what they would consider the main quest. The main quest being to stop aliens falling from the sky. But giving the players this option here is really useful, and they're going to have to face, they're going to have to decide what to do with it before they finish this this quest, before they return and free Larissa Vale Varys, because the people who have captured her, the Inquisition of Cinderia, they are tasked with finding out where this item is located, right? So if the party return Larissa Vale Varys' memory back to her, but they don't return the information about this this book, then they might just keep Larissa for a little bit. I'm still not entirely sure what they might do, but I can also totally see that if they are convinced that Larissa has not got her memory of this area back, and the party say, hey, we've restored her memory, we don't know where it is, then she can go free, right? Because she's no longer really a threat. They've disarmed her, and the party have done Cinderia a favor at this point already by, one, destroying the alien that was destroying the town, and two, going out and looking for the text of Saint Urail, or at least trying to, right? And aiding the Inquisition. So that's one thing the party could do. The party could also decide to go there and claim the book for themselves, which is probably going to be something, well, definitely something I'm letting them do. And I'm just preparing this just in case. Now, I also have got a few other projects currently in mind, or a few other things I need to do. Let me just reduce this a little bit. There we go. I still have a few other things I need to do for D&D that more relates to the main plot rather than the side plot, but I really just want to make a dungeon right now. So, we are 20 minutes in, 21 minutes in. Of course, I think 2 of them were the starting screen. But let's go ahead and check our OneNote, actually. OneNote? Hold on, where is my OneNote? Please don't tell me that's acting up as well. OneNote. Where is it? Do I not have OneNote up? No, I do have OneNote up. Oh, really? If I minimize it, it doesn't show. Oh, it's strange. Anyway, let's go over to our OneNote. And you guys can't necessarily see what's on here, but don't worry, I'll zoom in a little bit. And I need to just find the right page first. Where are we? I believe I put it in... Was it in Quest? No, I think I need to search up Saint Urail. Saint Urail. Crypt of Saint Urail. Here we go. So, over here... Whoop. Over here. How large does this look on screen? Is this alright? This should be alright here. So over here we have the Crypt of St. Uriel. And we are just listing a few of the things that are going to be important in this area. So we have a Crushing Pillar Trap, we have the Crypt Guardians, and we have Guiding Light, and we have the Hand Trap. Now this Hand Trap is something that I've been wanting to do for a while at this point now. I just feel like it is the most gruesome kind of trap, and I want it to be as violent as possible. Typically I would avoid... so this Hand Trap is going to rip off a limb. And if you want to do this in your game, you need to have an understanding between you and your players, right? You need to say to them, hey, I'm gonna... Well, you need to basically be on the same page as them. I believe that I know my players well enough. I've been playing with them for like 4 years at this point. To know that this might not be... That this is probably not going to trigger anyone, right? And I feel like you can pose some interesting challenges as well. So what this hand trap is, at some point in the dungeon they're going to need to get a relic or a gem or something to unlock that door. And one of the things that they, one of the gems that they need to collect is armed by this trap. And this trap basically, if you, the gem is on like a pedestal, sort of like an alcove, right? You can reach your hand into the alcove through a hole in the wall. And if you do, the hole in the wall is going to like snap around your wrist, right? And it's going to cut into your wrist. At that point, your wrist is severed. Or at least your wrist is close to being severed. Your hand is stuck, and it won't be released until you either damage it, or you figure out what the trigger mechanism is going to be. Or what the trigger mechanism is, and then you release it, right? So that's what we're going to be working on right now. And so far, what I have is... when a hand reaches for... So here we go. We have the trigger here. Let's embolden that. We have the trigger here. When a hand reaches for the item, crushing blades of metal clamp down on the victim's wrists. The blades are magically fortified, so this is no longer part of the trigger. The blades are magically fortified with immunity to poisons, psychic, and force damage. Resistant to bludgeoning and resistant to... resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. A trapped hand requires a DC 22 strength save to pull... strength check to pull free. Now, strength checks are really difficult to pull off. Even if you have a +5, you still need to roll, what is that, a 17? A 17 on the dice. Although, I'm thinking about it, maybe we can just make it be a dexterity saving throw? I don't know. If we just make it a dexterity saving throw where if you fail, you lose your hand. That could be a bit simpler than this roundabout way that we're going around it. Because at this point, like, a 22 save... I think pretty much everyone can get that. Let me take a look at their players' the player characters' stuff here. So, player Bianca definitely can. She has a +4. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Go figure, I don't need to sneeze at all before the stream. Once the stream starts, I am sneezing all throughout. But yeah, Bianca here looked like she has a +4 here. Lotus is probably one of the lowest strength ones. Lotus only has a +1, so Lotus would not be able to break free of this. Dune has a... Actually, Dune has a +3. I would have thought that Dune would have had a higher strength score, but that's okay. Garden has a +2. Lilith has a +1, okay. And then Storm has a -2. Right. I am thinking of, oh man, I'm feeling bunged up here. Give me another second here while I blow my nose. Yeah, so Storm here has a -2. So I am thinking of, or I was thinking of making it so that everyone in the party can escape from it, but it will be really difficult. But what do I mean by really difficult? What kind of threshold am I looking for? If I make it so that Storm can succeed with like a 5% chance, what is that? That's a 20? That's a 20 on the saving throw? That means the DC would have to be 18. Actually, do you auto-succeed? You don't auto-succeed on ability check, no. So if it is DC 18 to break free of, what chance does that give our higher strength character? That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 1, that's 4. That'll give them what? So if it's 18 plus 4, they need to roll a 14 or higher. That is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 7. So 7 times 5 is, what is that? That's 20, that's 35. So Bianca would have a 35% chance of escaping it. Unaided, that is. We do have Garden here who can aid these sorts of checks. And knowing Garden probably will. So let's see. Garden gives guidance. And I believe Garden has a few other features as well to help it out. So with guidance that'd be an extra d4. Let's say that that's roughly 2. If the DC is 18 with a +2, I might need to make that a DC 20. Because I do want this to be pretty difficult to escape from. As you can see, it also deals a lot of damage. Let me move back to OneNote here. Yeah, as you can see, it actually deals a lot of damage. It's got +12 to hit and deals 2d4 damage on a hit. So what are we going to be doing about this? I think the damage is okay. Actually, let me find my DMG. My DMG is right beside me here. So we are going to be looking up... Where is it? There's a table in here about damage severity. And I'm not entirely certain where it is. It's one of those tables that I can never find when I'm looking for it. Lingering injury, system shock, hit die by sides. These are not them, huh? Size tiny, speed. Nope, 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 nope. I think I might just need to check this online. I'm just going to take a look at a few more pages here. Okay, maybe a few more. Here we go. Damage, severity. Damage, severity, and level. Here we go. It's on page 249 in case you want to follow along. So my party are 11th level. I want this to be dangerous, or do I want this to be deadly? I don't want this to be deadly, I want this to be dangerous. So it's recommending 10d10 damage. Instead I've got 12d4. Yeah, instead I have 12d4, which I think is roughly equivalent, right? Let me go ahead and take a look on any dice here quickly. If you want to take a look for damage or quick dice calculations, I definitely recommend using anydice.com. Totally not sponsored. Let's do, so 4d12 output 10d10. Let's see how similar the two curves are. So let me go back to the browser. Oh, interesting. Have I still got Google Maps up? I do. There we go. Okay, here we go. Let's browser. Browser, please. Hello, browser. What is going on? I don't understand the stream overlay. I really don't. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Lovely. So here, let me see if we can get this as a graph. Okay, so the black line is output 1, which is 4d12. So it has a higher peak, but it deals less damage on average. Like 4d12 comes to, like, what is that? 24, 25, maybe 26 or so. Whereas 10d10 Oh, sorry, no, I meant 12d4. 12d4. Let's calculate that. Okay, so on average we're dealing, what is that, about... I don't even know how much that is. What is that? That's 10 damage? Really? Okay, let's up it to 12d6 instead. And let's check here. So yeah, it has slightly more, I think if I do summary, not summary, transposed, it's one of these. No? Okay. What is the average one here? That looks to be about 42 damage. That's pretty substantial. But I don't think it's deadly enough. Let's actually up this to 12d8 instead. That is going to do... I think this is much better. That's going to be like, what, 54 damage? I think that is appropriate amount of damage for losing a hand at this level. So let's do 12d... So here's the graph for you guys. Oh, sorry, you don't actually see this. Here we go. I forgot to press the transition button. I'm sorry. I'm still new to this. Don't lynch me. But here we go. So the black line here is output 1, which is 12d8. Output 2 is 10d10. Which is the average expected severity level for the level that I'm looking at. So now that we have that, let's head on back over to here, and we're going to type this in as 12d8. So instead of 12d4, this is now 12d8. It had AC 14, 35 hit points, and 10 damage resistance. Now this is going to be pretty difficult to break through using force. So we need to find a way for them to disarm the trap before it becomes a problem. Okay, so what kind of countermeasures do we have? So let's do countermeasures. Here we go. Yep. So what would they do in order to see this trap? In order to figure out what this trap is? So in order to figure that out, we need to kind of identify exactly what we're trying to, how this trap actually works, right? So right now, let me see if I can draw this for you guys. Let me just grab this here, then move this along here. Let me see if I can draw this. I'm no Khan Academy with my mouse, but let's see. Is that clear? That looks clear. I want to use like maybe a green's a bit more clearer. Sure, so we can use that. So imagine that there is a pedestal, right? And then on the pedestal there is a gem. Okay, but in between the pedestal and the gem, there is sort of like this this little alcove, and this here is a wall, right? So you have a wall, and then you get unsuspecting person A here, who looks into there and reaches their hand into it, right? What I want to have happen then is this trap activates, crushes his hand. Maybe, so it'd be more like this, right? Like it will, clamp down onto his hand. Actually, let me draw that wall a bit better. Let me just draw it with a hole in it. Boop, boop. There we go. So now we have our poor sap over here with his hand reaching in. Doot, doot, doot. There we go. We can give him eyes and we can make him very unhappy. There we go. Okay. And now we get this thing. So this thing clamps onto his hand, right? If he tried to pull out, he can't. So what is going to happen here? So something must be within the wall here. So something must be within the wall. Let's get something in the wall. Some kind of sensor. So a sensor of some kind, maybe a magical sensor that detects when movement goes through it. Sensor detects movement of some kind. Maybe. So here's one thing about this dungeon that I am making because of lore reasons. So this dungeon holds the text of this heretical figure in Sindarian society. this individual is part of, you know, a religion where concubi, who are sort of like these half demon, very succubi-like individuals, at least in appearance, are revered and venerated. So I kind of imagined this entire dungeon to not work, to not have their traps trigger on a concubi. So if a concubi were to reach their hand into here, they would not trigger the trap. So that's one way around it. If they know that, then they can proceed onwards. But I don't want that to be too clear, otherwise the dungeon's going to be a walk in the park for them. So instead, what I would rather do is... Oh, sorry, no. What am I thinking of? Yeah, so there's going to be some sort of like creature alignment detector here. So creature type detector. So a creature type detector which is going to work on non-fiends only. Okay. Because the concubi are fiends. And when it senses a non-fiend arm, it will trigger. Okay, so there needs to be some sort of system in place that controls this, right? So we know how it works. We know what triggers it. If you're not a fiend and you put your hand through here, then you will lose your hand. So let's head on back over here. Thank you very much for that, Bob the Stickman. Let me grab this movement bar down here. Concubi, or a non-fiend, can reach for the gem harmlessly without triggering the trap. You guys can't see it underneath my my thing. Okay, but this is not the main countermeasure. How else would they be able to figure this out? When a living non-fiend arm reaches for the item. Okay, so here's another thing that they can do. They could just use Mage Hand, or something like that, or something to pull it through. That could work. In fact, that probably definitely will work. Does my party have access to that? Is the next question. So let's head back to Foundry. And let's take a look to see what options they have available to them. So Storm. Storm's innate spellcasting is Shape Water, Levitate. Oh, they can levitate it. Lovely. How does levitate work? A spell can levitate a target of your choice. If you are the target... Okay, so levitate doesn't seem to pull something towards you. What about... Ah, okay, Storm does have Mage Hand, so that is one way that they can work this. So Mage Hand is definitely a way around it, so someone does have Mage Hand. What about Lilith here? What does Lilith have? I don't think anything useful. Next up will be Garden. Garden does not have Mage Hand. Let's see, Lotus. Again, no Mage Hand. And Bianca. Bianca's not a spellcaster. So we do have someone who can get through this by using Mage Hand on alone. And I feel as though I'm perfectly fine with this. I don't think I need any more countermeasures. But I will need some way to infer that this is dangerous, right? Well, I think I can hint towards it by having it be present immediately. So here, let's go on back over to our DPS. There we go. Let's head on back over to our DPS, and let's try to build the rest of this, right? Or at least the chamber that we're looking for. So I'm going to bring back my DMG here, and we're going to go ahead and roll on some tables. We're going to roll to create this dungeon. Let's see, where's the page that we need? It's over here. Okay. I wonder, is there a way to get a dice bot in chat? That'd be cool. That'd be cool to have. Instead, what we can use is, how would we do this? I feel like we can use the browser. Yep, we can use this browser to simulate a dice roll. So let's go ahead and do that. And what I want to do is I actually want to make this smaller. But let's go over to dice roller. Here we go. Is this big enough? Can we make this even bigger? Is that visible to you guys? Okay, so we can use this. Let me go ahead and change this. Well, change the scene here. Oh my goodness, this is so large. This is so large on my screen. Holy cow. Okay, so we have this open to us now. I'm actually gonna shrink this if I can. Okay, that welcome to Google apparently. Oh, come on, Google. Are you really doing this to me? Fine, whatever. Hold on. 1 second here. I can't even see my sidebar. My scroll bar. Oh my goodness, that goes super slow. What? Where did it go? Okay, fine. We're probably just going to have to do it like this. Is that better? I think that's better. Let's give it a test. No, I need to zoom out just a little bit more. There we go. This should be good. There we go. That looks nice. That looks really nice, I think. Does that look nice? I hope it does. Okay, so let's go. So I have a series of tables in front of me. These tables are going to tell us how to go on from this exit here. So in terms of the exit type, what type of exit is this? Well, there is a table in the DMG known as exit type. So let's go ahead and roll a d20. And the d20 comes up with a 4. So on the table, I look at 4, it said that it is a door. So let us go ahead and put a door in there. So thankfully, we don't need to do too much about doors because I've already made doors a thing here. So if I grab this, I Control C, Control V, and just drag that over here. Bada bing, bada boom, we have a door. Lovely. Oh, I need to have that stick to grid actually. There we go. Copy, paste. Cool, let's put it on that line, and there we go, we have a door. What is beyond the door? So there's another table here called Beyond the Door. And we need to roll another d20 for that, so let's go ahead and roll. We rolled a 15, and if we take a look at the chart, it says Beyond the Door there is a chamber. So now we get to roll on the chamber table, and we get 19. So 19 is an octagonal 60 by 60 foot room. Octagonal is 8-side. I'm not actually sure how to make an 8-sided room in this, but we'll give it a go. So if we go back to rooms here, let's go to folders down here. Let's select this, and we'll see if we can make a octagonal room here. So let's see, I think we need one of these, and then that doesn't quite work. Does it? What if we rotate it like this? No. 1, 2, 3. So hold on, if we do it like that's 1, 2, 3. How many sides would this be? So we have 1 side here, 2 sides there, 3 sides there, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that would be an octagonal shape. So I roughly know how to make an octagonal shape. Yeah, let's actually get rid of this and let's just use this asset here. I think I might want to use a bit of a better asset. Actually, let's see. Is there any way that we can make this one work? So if we do this, we flip it this way. Okay, here's what we do. We do fill selected, then we do this. Actually, let's get rid of this, and then let's do this, flip horizontal. There we go. So it's meant to be a 60 by 60 foot room. So each one of these squares is 5, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So that should be a 60 by 60 foot room, if we get this done right. So now let's go ahead and group these two. Let's copy, let's paste, and then let's flip vertical. There we go. So we have, what is this? That is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Oh my goodness, this room is going to be huge. I don't want it to be this huge. Let's make it just like this, right? Okay, here we go. Yeah, and you don't need to follow along with the result that you roll on the table either. So we've got this. Let's do outer corners, and then let's try and connect these two walls up. So we've got... Yeah, I think this will work. So if we do this, we can just slightly move this down. And then we grab this and we do like so. Then move these ones slightly up. There we go. Alright. So since we rolled a octagonal shape, let's actually make this 40 by 40. We need to roll on how many exits this thing has. So let's go ahead and roll, which is another d20. A lot of these are d20s apparently. We rolled a 13, and 13 means that there are 2 exits into this place. So I am going to count this as an exit. And now exit location, we can also roll for that. So let's go ahead and roll for that. We get a 12. So on exit location, it is the wall left of the entrance. So that means that it would be down here, our second exit or entrance would be. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that at all. Let's, for now, try to close off this section of wall here. So we can scroll down here, get a straight wall segment. Let's try and get a long one so we don't need to use it too often. Here we go. And there we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go, 8. Perfect. Actually, not so perfect here. Instead, why don't we just grab this and we reflect it, right? Just so that we have some pretty nice symmetry going on. And we don't actually need a door here. So, knowing my players, they'll probably be like, that's meant to be a door here. Let's earth glide through it. Even though there's probably nothing over here. Let's get something a little bit smaller here. Huh, how would I do... Oh, I can use this, actually. So let's do this. Let's flip it like so. Did that work? That works. That looks nice, actually. So we've got that. And now... how do I want to connect up these two? You know what? I think maybe a change of music might be in order. Although now that I say that, I actually like the music that we're listening to. So I'm going to change it in a bit. And when it comes to this, so I help out a student in as my day job. I help out a lot of students as my day job. I am a teaching assistant. And recently, I was helping a student out in English. And he really is very non-confident about English. Whenever he writes something, or whenever we tell him to write something, or whenever, you know... that sounds so authoritarian, doesn't it? Tell him to write something, you know. But anyway, whenever he's tasked with like a writing task, he is like fervently against it. Like he just sits there twiddling his thumbs, trying to do nothing, right? He's on the spectrum as well, so it is very difficult for him. I actually like how this room is shaping up. But today I was trying to get him to write something. They were tasked with looking through Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde the book. And they were tasked with doing basically a news article. They were making their own Victorian era news article for the crime of the character of, I think it was Caru's murder that happened. By the way, spoilers for Jekyll and Hyde. You've been warned. But if you didn't study it in high school, then I'm not sure what to tell you. Actually, I don't think I ever did Jekyll and Hyde in high school. I think I did, what is it? Of Mice and Men, actually. Yeah, I don't remember too much about that, other than what happened with some of the characters. But anyway, we were sitting down there, and I was trying to help him, and he was having all of these issues, right, with actually writing. And I sat there. It was a double lesson, so we had the time. But I sat there trying to explain to him that, listen, it's okay to make mistakes, right? And of course, this probably sounds cliche, but honestly, like, I can kind of get where the guy's coming from. Because whenever he does English, he feels really bad about it, right? Because he doesn't know what to do. And even when we tell him what to do, it's like, just write your own opinion. There's no wrong answer. That's not how his brain works. That's not like something that like clicks with him at all. And I had to sit down with him and say, hey, listen, so here's the thing. I know that you don't like doing this. I know that you find it like really, really difficult to do this kind of stuff, right? And I understand that it makes you feel pretty bad. Like it makes you feel frustrated, and it's generally not good vibes at all. But here's the thing. If you have two options. Your first option is to sit here and do nothing forever, which means that you will always feel this way whenever you have to do something like this. Or what you can do is we can try to work on it together, and I'll help you out with it. And get used to the feeling of what it's like, right? The more you're used to how it feels to write, the less hold that it has over you. And thankfully, that actually got him to frickin' start working. I was so pleased with myself, and so pleased with him as well, that he faced it. He understands that it's like, you know, not great at all to sit through it and like feel like what your work is, even though, you know, you're trying your best, but to feel that your work is worthless, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's how he feels, even though everyone at school is very, very supportive of him. Let's go ahead and finish this up. We are all very supportive of him, and I don't think there has been a single instance of like a staff member or anyone telling him that his work isn't great, or that his work like really is really bad, right? There hasn't been anyone who has said that to him. I feel like I'm losing my point here. My brain is throwing the thought out as I'm about to say it. Yeah, no, I can't. I don't think I can continue that, unfortunately. But the point is, you may feel like it's really like whatever creative endeavor that you're going through, whether it be making a map, or whether it be planning D&D, or whether it be creative writing because, you know, you're forced to sit it because you're going through the, you know, the national curriculum and you have to sit English class because for some reason the school board decides that English is actually extremely important for you and for your education growing up. I think one of the worst things about English class is nobody tells you why it is important, right? And you get people like the students who I work with, who basically are sitting there being like, I don't know why this is important. Why am I studying, like, say, Dr. Jekyll? I'm never going to read this book outside of English class. It had no practical application outside of English class. Why am I doing poetry? I don't want to be a poet. I don't want to write poetry. I don't want to be a poet. Why are we doing poetry? Like, it doesn't make sense. And that is exactly how I thought at school as well. However, what is actually, like, beneath everything that like you go through in English, and I feel like no teacher has ever told me this, the single most important skill that you do develop and learn from English is analytical skills. Honestly, it's being able to waft through like scores of information that, you know, your brain might consider useless or superfluous or something like that. and find meaning in it. Like, find the important parts, pick them out, and understand exactly what they're doing, right? That is what's important about English class. But they just use the medium. This is my understanding of it, of course. I'm not saying that my understanding is, like, you know, it be all end all. Oh, I haven't actually transitioned here. Press the transition button, so you guys have not been able to see the dice that I've been rolling. I am very sorry about that as well. I need to get used to this transition button. There's two, okay, in my defense, there are two modes on Streamlabs OBS. One mode is the mode where you make a change on your stream, on your screen overlay, and it applies immediately. The other mode is called Studio Mode, which is where you make the changes, it doesn't show up until you hit the transition button. And even though it showed me two clearly distinct screens, I normally always fail to press the transition button. But anyway, okay. So I hope that has been fruitful for some of you. We are now done with this chamber. And let's go ahead and finish rolling what's on. So this is going to be a trap room of some essence. And we are going to have a trap in here, or even maybe an encounter of some kind. This room up here is an encounter room. We are going to have a spirit of, or a manifestation of the spirit that inhabits this place, or at least a fraction of its power, right? And this is going to come up in the form of the Angry, which is a sorrow-sworn enemy from DnD. And it's actually like super brutal to face off again. But I'm not going to be using the Angry as a monster, I'm going to be using its stat block, making a few changes and creating my own monster to it. But we'll see that in a moment, actually. What's going on over here? This is a trapped room. Of course it is. But what we have here, we have floor tiles here. And if I take you back on over to my my OneNote over here, so let's transition and let's actually turn off the dice for now. Can I turn them off? There we go. So if we scroll up, we have this, the Crushing Pillar Trap. So this is going to be, this was the first trap that I've ever made in this dungeon. I had the idea that I really wanted a trap that like causes the floor underneath you to rise up and crush you against the ceiling. So this is what this is. So if you step on one of these traps, which it won't be, or one of these trap tiles, it won't be as clear in game, but I'm just using this as a guide for myself right now. Oh sorry, the floor tiles aren't going to be as clear as I've shown you earlier. But if you step on it and you haven't disarmed the trap, the floor is going to rise immediately and you're going to get crushed. So here's what we have. The trap is armed when a non-fiend opens the door. So if a fiend opens the door, everyone else can walk on inside of it and they're fine. But if a non-fiend opens the door to this place, then the trap is armed. The door bears divination markings upon it, which can detect a creature's creature type. I think that's redundant. There we go. Detect a creature's type. When two or more creatures, non-fiend of small size or larger, stand on the pressure plate in the room at the same time, all the pillars extend. Let's finish this. Extend to the ceiling. To the ceiling. This also made me think of something else about why English is important, but I'll get to that in a second if I can remember. All the pillars extend to the ceiling and crush whosoever is unfortunate enough to be standing upon it. So yeah, another very clear and like completely obvious use of English, by the way, is being able to write clearly, being able to write in full sentences, and being able to express yourself through the medium of writing. The students who I've mentioned before is more surprise ambush. Oh no, freaking bugbears, man. Hello Liger, how are you doing? I hope you're doing wonderfully today. We are working on some traps for a dungeon that is actually a side dungeon that you guys might go to next session. But it's up to you guys. I am just telling them a little bit about why English is important in school, of all things. Your day is just starting since you just woke up. Oh, man. I always forget it, and I am always so impressed that that people's days are still just starting even now, even though it's like, what, 7 o'clock for me. I've already been out to work, I've already had dinner, breakfast. I haven't actually had dinner yet. I need to have dinner. It's actually, like, honestly inspiring. But yeah, so we're working on traps. We're working on traps and dungeons and all that kind of stuff. So let me show you what we have so far. Actually, let me finish this off first. So we have this crushing pillar trap. You step on it and it raises the ground beneath you. We have countermeasures here, which are below my token, my face here. The floor tiles alternate between engraved and non-engraved, and the ceiling is cracked. A DC 14 investigation check revealed this was caused by heavy impact from below. The trap is armed when the door is opened. The divination markings from the floor trace around the base of the walls to the trap tiles. So if I go back to our Dungeon Painter Studio, how do I do that again? There we go. If I go back to our Dungeon Painter Studio, we go up here, we can see that this room here is the room I'm mentioning, right? So if you open this door right here, if a non-fiend opens this door right here, it'll arm the trap. So there are runes, it's sort of like a funnel, or like a runic line tracing that goes from here into this room, and kind of like is split along the floors here, right? If someone steps on these runes, if a fiend steps on these runes here, then that will block the divination magic signal, essentially, and will disarm the trap. So that is one way that they can do that. Let's head back to OneNote. Here we go. Let's head back to our OneNote. Dispel magic on the door or engravings will disarm the trap because there is a constant divination signal being sent out. So if that is dispelled, then the trap is disarmed. A concubine blocking the path with their foot or something similar will deactivate it as well. So if you like have your hand pressed on it, or if you're just standing on it and you're like a concubine, then it stops the trap. So that's that one. In terms of damage here, let's see. Yeah, so pillars rise from the floor at regular intervals. Let me scroll down here. Any creature on a hidden tile must make a dex save, taking 10d6 bludgeoning damage on a failed save if they are crushed against the ceiling, and are restrained. If they succeed, then they pass. They have no problem. But there is another issue with this. So as the floor tiles rise, so let me give you a visual description of a visual view of this. So as these floor tiles rise, you're left inside one of these such spaces, right? So you have these sort of like orangish runed squares that will rise on up and crush you to the ceiling. But if you manage to avoid it, you get sent into one of these squares. But now you're trapped. There's like earthen pillars around you, and you can't move through them. So now you're trapped. So you need to figure out a way of how to get through it then, right? And that's actually a good thing to try and figure out what to do. So let's head back to OneNote. Restrained creatures take that. So how do a concubine blocking the path with a foot or something similar will deactivate it as well? There needs to be a way for the strap to reset itself. Simple, you blow up everything. Absolutely. That is always a viable option. Provided you have enough explosive material, of course. Do you have enough explosive material? Or do I need to give you some more? Concubine blocking the path with their foot or something similar will deactivate it as well. How would it fall? I suppose just attacking the pillars, right? Actually, there's a spell called Bones of the Earth. You have Dune, does that count? Oh man, I have a trap in mind for Dune. Let me check Bones of the Earth 5e. What does Bones of the Earth do? Now, I believe Bones of the Earth actually has hit points for each of the pillars. Let's see. Ah, yet each pillar has AC 5 and 30 hit points. Each pillar has AC 5 and 30 hit points. When reduced to 0 hit points, a pillar crumbles to the crumbles into rubble. There we go. So this does make me think: has this trap ever been triggered before? And my answer is probably no. It probably has not been triggered before. Nobody has ever been able to find this place yet. Which leads to the question of how did Larissa know that the Anthology of Saint Uriel was in this crypt? Answer to that? Divine intervention, honestly. At this moment of divine intervention, I might come up with something else about it later. But for now, Larissa got it from her commander. I don't know where her commander got it from, but she has it. She's given it to Larissa. Larissa went to go and find it, and then she got attacked. But anyway, so we have the Crushing Pillar Trap. DC 15 plus 8 to hit. Why do I have it plus 8 to hit? Oh, no. Okay, I see. I was using stats for... let's see, this 10d6? Yeah, 10d6 area. There we go. I was using stats for the traps in Xanathar's Guide to Everything to do that. So let's see. So we have that trap sorted. And again, this trap can be avoided by being a concubine. Over here, what do we have? So this is going to be the entrance. So they're going to get here. Actually, I'm thinking. Yeah, why don't we have it be... They need to find... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I like this idea. They're going to need to find a gem to open each one of these doors. So let's copy, paste, and then drag this up to there. There we go. So instead of having to find all of the gems and then opening this up, they can find one gem, open this one up, and then they get to here, where they'll find out that they need another gem to open it up. Then they get to here, and then they reach the end, right? So in total, they need to find, what is that, 4 gems? So we need to place 4 gems somewhere around here. The first gem is going to be up here. The next gem is probably going to be in this room somewhere. And I am thinking maybe we can make it be a gem that you see first, but you can't actually access until you come back later. How would we do something like that? Well, that could be simple. That could be like a statuette holding it in its hand, and you like it actually like not visible inside its hand. Like, you know, what's a good example? Like, I don't actually have anything small around me. Yeah, let's take this juggling ball, for instance. If we have it in our hand, like, you can't really see that, right? So maybe we can have it be something like that we can do. So they need to go and do something a little bit deeper into the dungeon in order to unlock this this one. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a statue. Oh, I also need to transition back over to here. There we go. Statue. Can we get some statues, please? I spelt it wrong. There we go. Statue. Alright, what kind of statue do we want? I think this statue looks nice. Sadly though, this statue is one of the types of statue that are see-through. But if we plant it down a couple of times, we can actually see it more clearly. Also, I don't think you can see it too clearly on stream either. But this will show up nicer on the actual map. Instead, actually, let's change it to be something else. Let's see. Yeah, we actually have wings here. So what we can do is we can grab a statue like this. Let's reduce it in size. There we go, 100. We can go ahead and place this down here. And then we can actually grant it wings. Okay, we probably need to... Yeah, we need to move the statue. Whoop, like so. Grab this, let's do a flip and then boop, like so. Then we can grab this statue, move it to the top, do that, and now we can grab all three of these, group, and there we go. We now have a we now have a statue. So this statue is going to actually, can we? Let's rotate it. Okay, that doesn't work quite as how I had hoped it would. Let me remove that. This is happening because this thing is there we go, got it. It's got a different kind of rotation. Very big statue. Yeah, actually it is huge. Come to think of it. There you go. So we can place it like maybe around here. Oh, I had an idea. Maybe, just maybe, this statue is actually blocking the view of the crystal behind here, right? I think that could be a cool thing to do. So let's go back over to here, and I want to grab, oh, I don't have this actually in this area. Let's go ahead and enter here. Oh, is that? 1 second. If I delete all the walls, there we go. I want to grab this. So let's paste. Let's group these two. Let's reveal this again, and then we can copy and paste this, and then just oh, whoops, not what I wanted. And then we can just go ahead and move a copy of this over to, and I do want to remove the orb on here before importing this into Foundry, because you can't actually change anything on this map once it's imported into Foundry. It basically exports this as an image, and then, you know. So we're just using this as a guide for now. So we have this this jewel here. So we've got that so far. So the idea here is the statue is blocking the view to this gem, and we might actually want to use the hand trap idea that we used a bit earlier. Maybe that big room summons a bunch of Roggenrola and a Regirock. Oh. So that is a reference to one of the Pokemon RPG games that we played, one of the more infamous sessions that we had, where the party went into a cave to try and find a missing child. They ended up finding a Regirock who needed a beatdown. And since Regirock is a legendary encounter, I made it more legendary by giving it ads. Those ads were Roggenrola, and they decimated the party. It was terrifying. It ended up in a TPK. And ever since then, people have had PTSD in trial and error about Roggenrola ever since. But yeah, I don't want to traumatize you that badly, Ligo. At least not yet. Let me see if I prefer these wings instead. These wings could work. Might need a bit of rotation though. Let's go ahead and do custom angle. So we can do something like maybe this. Oh yeah, I really like how that looks. So let's grab this, and then we can, oops. Yeah, custom angle, we can flip vertical, and then we can do this. Okay, let's head on into our statue. Let's delete the wings. Okay, let's grab these wings over here. Cut, go into our statue, paste, and then move them into place. Like so, we can move them to the bottom. That looks really good, I think. I think I really like that. Alright, fantastic. So, this room I think is a bit too big for what I think the current features of it are. You still wonder to this day what would have happened if you'd actually caught it, what would have happened next. Yeah, so that Regirock, since the game is over, I can tell you guys. So that Regirock had lost its master, not its master, but it lost its mission in life. Like whatever it was down there to protect, it lost it. That thing was actually taken away by by the equivalent of a wizard, who went out and ripped it from its position as part of a few trials in order to try and find Celebi in order to go back in time. but Regirock failed to protect what it was trying to protect, and since it was still bound to the place, it couldn't do anything. So it just felt that, hey, the thing I'm protecting is no longer here. I need to attack anyone in the area because they have taken it, right? That's what the Regirock was thinking. If you guys had caught it, then the Regirock would no longer be bound to that location. And it would probably find some sense in itself to want to seek out this thing that had been taken. So there you go. As part of my idea for the Pokemon setting that I created for my D&D game, not D&D game, for my tabletop game, one of the core ideas is Pokemon in the wild tend not to be as intelligent, but they learn more human-like intelligence as they bond with people. So the simple act of catching a Pokemon raises its intelligence, raises its communicative ability. There are obvious exceptions, like for instance Mewtwo or any legendaries, and even sometimes one of the first Pokemon the party had encountered was a Zorua who was able to actually talk. So clearly human intellect. But yeah, what else can we do in this room? Maybe we can have a few other statues. So what is this room? Why would this room be here, right? Let's actually add in a few... Oh, let me grab this. Can I enter into here? There we go. Into here. There we go. Edit. This should give us it as a template. Nice. Okay, and then let's reduce the scale. What's the scale in this thing? What? Oh, that's because it's there we go, like that. There we go, that's perfect. So let's put one. I need to make this more visible for a second. There we go. So what's the difference here? So it looks like we have one intersection between the two. So in this case it'll have to be one square. There we go. So let's just repeat this all the way down until we get to the wing. And then same thing down here. Actually, do I want to place them here? I think I want to place them here. But yeah, I really would like to do more Pokemon. It's just I cannot abide by the system that we used anymore. I really do not feel... every time I try and plan something, it feels like I'm fighting the system to plan what I want. And I feel like that is a hallmark sign of a terrible RPG system. Let's actually do something like this, right? I think this is a little bit better. Whoop. There we go, just make it a little bit staggered like this. I think that looks nice. And actually we can get something in the center. We can maybe have a trap in the center, maybe like a pit trap or something. So let's go ahead and grab this and this. Yeah, I like how that looks so far. Maybe there's a new system that's hopefully better. I was trying, well, I am still trying to work on my own system for it. When I have time and the inclination to, I'll still continue it. But I have, part of a system developed. I mean, it's not really a system in itself. I'm still deciding on what type of dice to use and what type of rolling system to use. But yeah, I actually thought that poker roll was really good. I think we need to turn this down to 15. Yeah, the poker roll system I really loved, because it was not anywhere near as grindy. But some of my players didn't enjoy it as much. So, not playing that system with my group. Let's see, might do a few more one-shots in it, honestly. So in terms of this, what can we do? Ooh, I have an idea. We can have an illusory pit here. So how about we do something like... no, let's get is there anything here for pit? We do have some things here for pit. What is this? Could you imagine? Pit collapsed. No, I don't think I like that. This one looks better. We might just have to draw a pit using new walls. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. So let's head on back to here. Let's go into our walls. Let's grab a wall so that we can add it to our palette, to our brush. Here we go. And I believe there should be just walls. Can I just get walls? Wall straight? There we go. This is what I'm looking for. Wall corners. Yep, okay, this is perfect. So let's, is there going to be a large pit here? So one of the themes that I want to have in this dungeon is this sense of primordial anger. Intermixed with this sort of like religious heresy. So those are kind of the two themes I want to try and run with here. So let's bear that in mind as we develop this a little further. Is that center? That does look... that is center. Okay. Let's group this up. Let's move this to the top. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a floor patch over here somewhere, and I'm going to export that into Foundry and then just overlay it with it here. In the meantime, how do I get this to look like an actual pit? That is the next question. One thing I could do is I could do something like this and just give this a light. Okay, if I move this down here. I think I might actually need to edit the pattern even more. So let's reduce the scale here. I know things that will probably affect garden. Oh, really? Okay, now we can do something like that. I feel like that's delineated enough from the rest of the... How does that look? That look like a pit? I think that looked like a pit. What I really want is I want a bit of wall exposed on the map here to show that it is actually like down. But unfortunately, well, I guess not. Like top-down view, if you're like, oh wow, if you're like actually top-down, like top-down, it won't actually show any wall, right? But this is okay. We can be even meaner. You said some religious heresy, and that kind of looks like a pit. It kind of looked like a pit. Okay, well, that's close enough. Ooh, can I actually just draw a circle? Oh, wow, I can. Something like that? Is that circle enough? Yeah, that's circle enough. But I think I want it to be a bit smaller. Here, let me grab, delete. Okay. Where would I even put smaller circles? I can put a smaller circle here. That's not even a circle. Oh my goodness, okay. Instead, let's do something like... Oh, come on. Delete that. Here you go, let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, you won't actually let me draw a circle here. Okay, if I do what? I mean, I don't think that quite works. Okay. A lot of this is just trial and error and messing around. We can just use this template. Actually, how about we just move this a little bit? There you go. Oh, I need to group these two. Wait, do I? What is this? This one is... What? Where? What is this thing? Into. Circles are forbidden shapes on the left side. How do you mean? What makes them forbidden on the left only? Wait, is this not... Where is it? Oh, okay, it's out here, that's why. So if I cut this, go back into wall, paste, reveal. Actually, let me cut this, go into here, and paste there. And move... Excuse me. Move that to the bottom. Now, I should be able to move this entire thing aside, like so. I actually want this to be... Okay, I'm probably going to have to cut this from here and then paste it out here. And I can make this go below... Hopefully below... Not dungeon. There we go. Actually, are these pillars in the dungeon floor? They are in the dungeon floor. Okay, I won't be able to put the statue says so, very forbidden shape. Ah, I see. I see what you mean. Okay, let's cut these. Let's paste them in here. Paste them at the top. Does this ruin anything elsewhere in the dungeon? No. Okay, we're fine. We're fine with that. Cool. Okay, let's go back into our semicircle. There we go, because it's not just going to be the one semicircle. In fact, let me make another grouping here to represent that as another one. And now what we can do... yeah, it should be there, I think. Oh, is this scale locked? It's locked at 70%. That should not be at 70%. It should be at 100. There we go. Perfect. Now, we have a series of invisible pits. So let's group into, then let's grab our land. Let's do that. Move this to the bottom, and then apply the effect. There we go. And now what we can do is we can, instead of doing that multiple times, we can copy this. We can paste it, and then we can move it elsewhere. I don't think I want one immediately there. Putting one here is perfectly fine, I think. So yeah, if you like step into this square, you're down. You fall into it. There we go. Let's grab another one and then let's plop it. Sure, let's plop it like right here. I think that's good enough. And then one more, I think. Right there. I think we might need to move this bigger circle along one. There we go. That looks good. Yeah, actually, what we can do is we can kind of infer, or at least hint, towards the presence of one of some of these holes. If we actually delete some of these. There we go, delete that, and let's delete that, and... yeah, let's delete this one. We can infer the presence of these holes by... And this is a very loose inferral. There we go. Can I not grab this one? Why can't I grab this one up here? Into... Ah, right, it's because of that. Wait, is that the case? No, that can't be the case. Into here. Oh, I just need to have my cursor in the right place. Weird. Anyway, let's do it this way. Yeah, maybe like so. That's I want it to be more central. There we go, that's good. So if we have these holes in the place where pillars should be, that can kind of tell players that something is slightly amiss. The only question then is, how would they know that these pillars are missing, right? Well, every room that they've had, they've always been in a regular shape. I feel like that might not be overly clear. I do want this to be central, though. I want this to be a main hazard. So, what is going to happen if someone falls down here? Well, one of our people has wings. So if they fall down, it's not going to be a hazard to them because they can just fly on up. And they're the concubi. And we know that most of the traps here don't work on concubi. So that's a great way of working in that idea of concubi are unaffected by the traps here. So, as they get into this room, they are going to probably see just a blank room. At the far end, there is a large statue of a winged individual whose wings curtain the back wall. So they would not be able to see beyond this this wing here, these wings here. So they would probably only just see the wings, honestly. And then later on, I would need to. Oh yeah, no. Later on, I don't need to remove the wing assets. I can just have it have the wall disappear from like actually disappear in Foundry. So the wings still there, still look like this, but there's like gaps in the wings, right? And then that will allow them through. So that's how this room is going to work. We need these traps to be even more deadly though. So what can we put at the bottom of these traps? Normally, the first thing that comes to mind are spikes. I don't want to go that route. I want some sort of primordial fury to come through these things. So something more than just traps, just spikes. I'm taking a look through Xanathar's here because Xanathar has a section on traps. And I want to see what their suggestion is, although I think circles now form a paw. They absolutely do, you're totally right. Okay, so not purple one. Don't give me ideas. I can put a purple word underneath one of these things. If I really want. You just step into it and you fall into the mouth of a sleeping purple worm. Dude, that's actually given me a good idea. That is actually a great idea. Why are the worms there? Well, a wizard came by and put them into permanent stasis. Their bodily functions still work as normal, except, you know, they're asleep. They can't move. Let's see. Traps. Where are traps in this thingy, in this book? Traps revisited, 113. Is always wizard. Absolutely. Wizards are the phlebotonym of every campaign. Of every fictional setting. Let's see. Simple trap. Countermeasure. Trap. Bear trap. Crossbow trap. Falling portcullis. Fiery blast. Pit trap. Okay, here we go. Pit trap. The simplest of pit traps consists of a 10-foot deep hole in the floor, concealed by tattered canvas that's covered with leaves and dirt, to look like solid ground. This type of trap is useful for blocking off the entrance to a monster's lair, and usually has narrow ledges along its side to allow for movement around it. It triggers by anyone who steps on it might fall through the pit, might fall through the canvas into the pit. The triggering creature needs to make a DC 10 dex save. If they succeed, they catch the pit's ledge, or it instinctively jumps back. On a failed save, the creature falls into the pit, takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage from the fall. Countermeasures. A DC 10 Wisdom Perception check reveals the presence of the canvas and the 1 foot wide ledge around the edges of the pit where it's safe to travel. So, since this area is going to be covered by an illusion, we can give them a DC investigation check. I think it's investigation. Perception. Yeah, so let's head back to our OneNote here. Boop, boop, right here. So we are going to have illusory pit traps. So how did I format this? So trigger. Let's get trigger, let's get countermeasures. This trap is going to be relatively simple. There we go. Okay. The room hides pit traps leading into the open maws of sleeping purple worms. You did this to me, Liger. You did this to me. You gave me the idea. We are going to make it so. What is that thing in Star Wars? I think it's Star Wars. The thing with a giant mouth in the middle of the desert. What is that thing? The Maw? Not the Maw, is it? Imagine like that. So once the invisibility, or not invisibility, but once the illusion here Yeah, the giant worm thing. Once the illusion over these pit traps have fallen away, or you've fallen through them, or something like that, then you'll just fall into the mouth of a purple worm. So let's see if we can actually work that into here. So let's see if this one here, yeah, it is. Let's see if we have anything about teeth. Teeth. No teeth. Okay, we might just have to decorate this ourselves. That is not good. Tooth. That is also not good. What about here? No. How about more? More. Nope. And no. Okay. I feel like it's something like the Sarlacc or the Sarlo or Star. I think it's something Star, the Star Wars thing. Or is that from Dune? That might be from Dune. I don't know. I can't remember. The Exogorth? I'm not familiar with the Exogorth's name. It probably is. I'm not familiar with Star Wars Extended Universe, or Star Wars in general, for that matter. I give all D&D nerds a bad name for not having watched The Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. I've watched a bit of Star Trek, but only because my mother watched it on TV. So it could be the Exogorth, I'm not sure. How would I represent this? So I do want it to be a mouth. I want it to be an open mouth. I want it to be like concentric series of teeth that goes down into like an endless void. Giant space slug with teeth thing that lives in asteroid craters and holes. I mean, yeah, that's that's what I want. I want one of those things. Yeah, how would I type this? Mouth? What am I even looking for? No, that's not it either. Let's just type in flesh. Let's see what we get with flesh. Maybe we can improvise on one of these things. So here, why don't we do something like this? Fill selected. No, you can see that repeating. Maybe we can use this one. Yeah, that one looks better. You probably can't see it too well on stream. Actually, let me make this a bit bigger, huh? Oh, and I think I just ruined it. Might need to... Oh no, it's fine. Oh, here we go. If I scale this up. There we go. And actually what we could do is we could layer on the effect. Like so. Let's give it the same lighting. And then we can do edit. And we can even change the rotation of it. There we go. And now we do the same thing again, but this time a little bit smaller. Like so. Yeah. Apply. And then we can also rotate this one. Sure, and let's reduce the scale a little bit. Cool. So we have that. Again, really not sure how well it's showing on stream. But now we just need like a series of teeth. And I really don't know how we're going to put in a ring of teeth. Teeth. Tooth. I mean, that could work. We could do something like this. So if we click here, look at that. There's also the crate dragon that lives in Tatooine. He looks like a giant sandworm. That sounds about right. That honestly does sound about right. Okay, here we go. I think we've figured out our method here. So if we do that, and then we do this. But yeah, you should see exactly what I'm thinking of with this here. So apply, cool. And now we do. Sure, this one's gonna be quite square, but that's okay. Boop, boop. Cool. And actually, you know what else we could do? We could actually, let's edit, let's Copy. Let's close, create new, edit, and then can we paste? No, we probably can't paste, but that's okay. Let's put in tint. What's this button? Huh, there's another button here. I have no idea what it does. But yeah, we add, and then we can do a slightly different shade. There we go. And let's go ahead and try and apply this to this ring here. So if we apply... Oh no, this actually needs to go on the outermost ring, honestly. Oops. Not what I meant to do. You know what, let's actually just get a circle of blackness down here. There we go, there we go. Cool. Actually what we can do is this one, I think it's this one here. Yeah, it looked like that one. Yeah, we can just do that. There we go. And maybe we could even just get like a single ring. Maybe something even like that. We could even do... Yeah, I think this looks better. What do you think? I think this is exactly the method we're doing. The scary pit of teeth, exactly. Oh, that's another thing as well. We could have there be like some sort of snoring sound entering this room. So like the sound of some sort of slumbering giant beneath here. That could definitely be something we could do. Alright, we need to now do the same thing for all of these others. But what we can just do, let's actually go to our palette over here. Because I think our palette... No, it doesn't. Okay. That's fine. What we can instead do is go back here. Instead of going all the way through... all the way through whatever we've just been through. We can just grab this on our paintbrush. Go into here. Into... And then this floor here. We can just go back to this. Huh? Okay, fine. Just go back to flesh. We'll find it the good old way. Here we go. Fill selected. There we go. And now we'll grab this. So that's that size. We now need one that's this size. And then we need one that's actually, yeah, no, this one can just be black. That could be a clue, yeah, and nobody would guess it's a sleeping purple worm. Alright, so we've got this. Let's get our teeth. We need to get our ring of teeth. Teeth. I think it's actually tooth, and we need to be selecting the objects. There we go. Oh, sorry, no. Oh, yeah, we actually... So this method here isn't actually intended. This method here is not intended at all by the developers. Close. Let's apply. And then onto this one here, let's apply the same effect. There we go. I don't know if I can actually make those teeth smaller. Let me try. I'm pretty sure there's no way to make them smaller. Let's actually try from up here. So scale, let's lock scale and let's go down to like say 60%. Then we grab this. That does not look like it's at 60%. Yeah, no, totally not. Okay. That's fine. Man, I kind of feel like I want to make these circles a little bit bigger then to make the pit look better. Let's see what we can do about the pit size. Oops, let's remove that. Okay, so we have a pit over... Can I, like, actually click something, please? There we go. Let's just move this pit out of the way. And then let's make another pit. So we'll grab this. We will... wall. Then secretly this whole dungeon is just an illusory terrain inside a ginormous purple worm. Oh no. You are way too advanced my brain right now. Like... okay, that didn't work. I guess I'm gonna have to select it the good old-fashioned way. Do this, edit, go into folders. There we go, now we have it. 100. Oh, that's right, I can't actually change the size. Yeah, no, I can't. Because there's only these two values. I mean, there's this one as well. These two values of circular size. There's also this one, which is even bigger, but this room can't actually hold that. So yeah, I think this is we're gonna have to go with this circle size in that case. So that's okay. Let's delete this. Let's go ahead and copy this along. Copy, paste. There we go. There's one. Delete, delete. Let's go ahead and remake the paw. Let's plant one. I think I put it here, or was it here? Yeah, I think it was here. Let's make it actually more so over here. I just realized if somebody goes up to try and inspect this, they're going to immediately fall down into this pit. Right, and then one here. Cool. So really, there's no... like, you can't actually walk into the center of this without falling into one of these pits. Or at least triggering it. We can actually maybe squeeze another one in around here. Why don't we... there we go. Why don't we actually make it like this? No, 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 no. Make it more like so. Yeah, this one's fine. So more than likely Dune. Yeah. More than likely Dune. But the thing with Dune, normally I'd be careful about this type of stuff, but Dune's entire thing is she cannot be killed. So I interpret that as Dune's player wants her to get hurt. Badly hurt, right? Just so that she can endure and survive it. That's the entire gimmick as to what Dune's player character wants. And I want to play into that. I want to help them play into that by putting Dune through the ringer. It's kind of like why I shoot the monk with ranged weapons. I want them to use their ability. I want them to look cool. I want like Black Lotus to be able to catch things. I want Garden to be able to heal stuff. And protect stuff. I want Lilith to be able to make use of her dragon and her elemental affinities. I want Storm to be able to use his water stuff and his air stuff to good effect. I want his bottled respite to be useful. And I want Dune to be able to run the fuck in there and get obliterated and still come out the other side. That's what I'm hoping here. But anyway, what is the damage on a purple worm? On a purple worm's bite. Let's take a look. 5e purple worm. So the smaller purple worms are going to do a bit less damage. Let's see, bite is going to be 3d8 plus 9 piercing, followed by 66 acid damage. Something tells me that's a bit too lenient. Where's my any dice? So let's head on back over to any dice. Let me fill this to screen. Transform fit to screen. Sure, we can do it like this. So here we are back in any dice. Let's get output. So the damage on a purple worm, as we can see here, is 66 and 3d8 plus 9. So if we do 3d8 plus 9, that's going to give us a peak of, what is that, between 21 and 24. So that's probably like, what, 22.5? That'll be the peak damage there. It is a lot, but it's like, I don't think it's overly serious. So if we go back to here, let's go into Foundry actually. How do I get into Foundry again? I can't remember. There's a series of buttons that I can press in order to get back into Foundry. Oh, does Foundry not? Oh, I think I need to maximize Foundry. There we go. Okay, here we go. So if we take a look, Dune has 137 hit points, and if she's raging, she halves most of the damage she takes. What does the Emerald Eye Mask do again? Immune to blind. You gain 60 feet of dark vision. If you already have dark vision, it's increased. You gain proficiency in the perception skill. If you already had proficiency, you gain expertise instead. Okay, cool. So, Dune has 137 hit points. If Dune, let's see, the browser said that it deals like 23 damage on average. That's just with the bite alone. Now, if we do plus 66, which I think was the value for the acid, yeah, 66 is the value for the acid damage. Let's head back to here. What is that value total to now? That's like 42, 43, that's like 43.5 it looks like. That's going to deal 45 damage, which is a certain fraction of health. That's like over a third of her health. So I actually feel like that's okay. If we make the trap deal 3d8 plus 66 plus 9 damage. Right? But let's see if we can find something else that makes it look a little bit neater. Output. Let's do 8d10. I feel like this is relatively close. Yeah, no, it absolutely is close. Yeah, the difference is it is more likely on the 3d8 plus 66 to get the peak numbers, whereas 8d10 is more of a flatter curve. So I think 8d10, that's most of Garden's health in one bite. Yeah, that's a good point. Who has the lowest hit points here? Storm. Storm has the lowest hit points. Oh, Garden as well. Yeah, Storm and Garden followed by Lotus. So with 69 hit points, if one of you falls in, let me go to table view here. There is the lowest chance that it could deal exactly 69 damage. Yeah, so maybe I should tone this down a little bit. Let's do like maybe 60-10. Let's see how this looks. We go here. Let's remove this value. That average looks to be what? 31, 2, 3? 33? 33 damage on a bite. So that can give Garden 2 attempts to try and escape on average. Maybe a little bit more if they fail to escape. That's also another thing. I want this to be a check to try and escape, so I don't want it to be that high of a damage. Let's see, what does this book recommend for trap damage? Let me see, where are traps again? Am I looking in the right book? I am looking in the right book. Let's see. Okay, damage by severity level. So for level 11 to 16, 10d10 damage is considered dangerous for a trap. I want this to be a moderate threat, I think, so that recommends 4d10, but I feel like that's a large difference, so I think 6d10, maybe even 5d10. Let's take a look at 5d10. 5d10 would do, what is that, between 27 and 28 damage. That doubled would be like, what, about 50? Or so, just over 50 damage. That could be something that we can work with. So yeah, I feel like 5d10 damage is very good, even especially considering some of the other party members would probably also be falling into this. They actually say something about if the trap is able to affect multiple targets. I'm just taking a quick read here. The damage value is given assumed trap damages one creature. Use d6s for damage in place of d10s for traps that affect more than one creature at a time. Okay, so we can change this to d6. So 5d6 will deal, on average, about 18 damage. I feel like that's a little too low. So let's do 7d6. Yeah, I feel like 7d6 is nice. So let's say that this trap deals 76 damage. So let's do damage is 7d6. Let's make it a DC 15. How would they escape it? This would be a climbing check of some kind. Like if so, okay. Let's say you fall into the maw of a purple one. What happens? Well, there are actually rules for it. What does this suggest? DC 19 dexterity saving throw. So yeah, I think it would be a saving throw. Let's see, what does this game suggest? It suggests DC 15. So I think DC 15 is okay. DC 15 dexterity saving throw to escape. There we go. Otherwise, a concubine can fly in, pick them up, and just move on out there. Climbing would be athletics. Sure. I don't think I want it to be a climbing check, though. Just thinking about it, I feel like it's definitely a save, because it's a roll to save against a hostile effect, right? That's normally what saving throws are, whereas checks are more trying to get past something. So I feel like a saving throw is more appropriate. Okay, so we have that. So if they fall in, they just take the damage. Yeah, this would be a save. So what would this damage type be? Do I want this to be acid damage, or do I want this to be bludgeoning damage? Sorry, slashing damage. Or even, what type of damage is this? That's the next question. I feel like I want it to be dual type damage. How are the purple worms ruled? So they do 3d8 and then 66. Sorry, that's 3d8 plus 9. So why don't we have this do... So we have 7d6 output. Let's do 4d6 plus 2d8. What does that look like? Let's take a look on the graph. That looks somewhat similar, somewhat familiar. The second output is a little weaker, actually. Yeah, you can see the graph there is slightly behind. So let's add another d6. So 5d6. Now it's slightly ahead. Okay, so let's do 4d6 and then let's change this to 3d8. Okay, I think that's more appropriate. So if we do 4d6 slashing and then 3d8 acid. So 4d6 d6 slashing plus 3d8 acid damage. What's the difference in the crest here? So this is about, again, so let's see. 24, 25 on the 76. This is how I imagine it is. They bite you once, then start sliding you into the binding stomach tube that is covered in acid. Yeah, I think so. So this is 24, 25 versus... This is slightly more damage. Yeah, it looks like the highest here, 28, 27. Normally I'd be okay with that. Let's do what? Let's try and do 3d6 instead. What's the average here? The average here is actually, what is that, 24? Which matches up almost perfectly. So, okay, we do 3d6 plus 3d8 damage. And there we go. So we do 3d6 slashing plus 3d8 acid damage. Slashing. Okay. The room hides pit traps leading to open maws of sleeping purple worms. The traps are hidden via illusory flooring. trigger. When... Oh, I need to change back here. Hold on 1 second. Change back to OneNote here. There we go. Shoot me. So trigger. What's the trigger here? The trigger is... let me use the wording from the book here. Yeah. Anyone who steps on the... let's see. Steps on the illusory covering falls into the trap. Might fall into the trap. Okay, so here's what's I'm thinking. Oh, what's it called? Precipitation? That's sort of like the vape, or like the moisture. Like when you breathe on a glass, that's precipitate, right? When you breathe on a glass, I think. Did I say that right? I can't remember. Anyway. I feel like that might make the walls a little bit slippery as you fall on into here. Okay, anyone who falls into here might slip on a trap. Trigger. Now we need effect. Effect. Here we go. Okay, what is going to be the effect of this? So the effect is when you breathe on glass, that is precipitation, I believe. Thank you for the check. So let's see, effect. When oh yeah, effect is the creature who falls in must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or fall into the maw of the, or just fall into the maw, taking 3d6 slashing and plus 3d8 acid damage from the from the esophagus. Esophagus. Did I spell that wrong? How did I spell that wrong? Really? It starts with an O? From the esophagus. From the toothy esophagus of the creature. Okay, cool. Countermeasures. Oh, hold on, also. Yeah, countermeasures. Let's add on to the effect here. A creature who falls in must make another DC 15 dexterity saving throw to attempt to escape. May use an action to make another DC 15 dexterity saving throw to attempt an escape. There we go. I think that's suitable. If you fall in, you're still visible to other people, so they can still come in and rescue you. Countermeasures. A winged creature can harmlessly fly into the maw of the purple worm. Harmlessly fly away from the maw of the purple worm as they are falling. There we go. Cool. Okay, so we have that. What are some of the other countermeasures? We need a perception check of some kind. A DC, let's say, let's take a look at the stats of the party here. So if we go back to here, let's take a look at our dexterity saves. So I think we should have... Okay, let's open up all of these guys. 4, 5, 6. Cool, so Storm. Storm's deck save is +2. So we have +2, +9, 0, 3, 9, 2. Okay, so we have... The only high dexterity saves we have are 9s. Everything else is like 2 or something, right? Let me just double check to make sure that's the case. Yeah, 1, 9, 3, 0, 9, 2. So here you go. We have Storm, we have Lilith, who is all the way up here. We have Garden, who is all the way back here. We have Dune, who is a little bit above Storm. I would rate Dune a little bit higher because she has Danger Sense. And then we have Lotus with their +9. And then Bianca has a +1. So Bianca joins the rank of Storm, I believe. Actually, Bianca goes over here. Cool. So this is the order of deck saves that we have. So this is what? 993? Sorry, yeah, 993 to... Wait, is that a -2? Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at strength. That's a +2. 992 to 993210. 993210. What's the average of that? 9 plus 9 plus 3 plus 2. 9932110. And that's 24. So we do 24 divided by how many are you? We have 6 people in the party. Holy cow! Average of 4. So that would imply like a DC of 14 would be the party's average of escaping. I don't mind leaving it at 15, makes it a little bit more difficult to escape. That means that Garden, that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, Garden has a 25% chance of getting out of there on his own. If he falls in. That could be deadly. On the other hand, Lotus can just avoid the trap entirely. In addition to that, Lilith is easily able to avoid it as well. Like, she has a high chance to get out of it. Not necessarily avoid it, but she has a high chance to get out of it. And Dune as well, I think. So I think, considering all of that, I think a DC 15 is good enough. A DC 15 dexterity save. Oh no, sorry, not DC 15. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the completely wrong thing. I actually want to look at your perceptions. So here you go. Lotus's perception, 7. Lilith, 13. Oh my goodness, girl. So 7, 13. Dune, I believe, only has a 3. Yeah. Storm gets, what does Storm get? Storm has +1. Yeah, let's do like this, Bianca. Bianca's perception is -1. And Garden's perception is +7. Holy cow. Okay, so we have what? So this is 13 plus 7 plus 7 plus 3 plus... What was Storm's? +1. And Bianca's was -1. +1 -1. That leaves us with 30, and then 30 divided by, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gives us 5. So that's roughly DC 15. Could do. A DC 15 Wisdom Perception check can hear the sounds of... I'm just getting a bit confused here, because if you're doing a check against a illusion, isn't that normally investigation? Or is it sometimes perception as well? I'm not sure. For now, I think I'm okay setting it at this value. You can hear the sound of... Is this really going to be the countermeasure? You're going to hear the sound of slumbering beasts. You can hear the sound of heavy, deep. I'm not sure how to word this. So as you go in, what does a purple worm sound like when it's sleeping? It'll feel like a rumble, wouldn't it? It'll feel like a heavy rumble. But these things are so far into their sleep that, you know, they're almost catatonic. So I feel like it would be kind of difficult to tell. I'm not sure. I'm not sure for this right now. But let's just finish the... I need to head back to... Let's head on back to our OneNote. There we go. I'm not sure how to finish this, honestly. A DC 15 wisdom perception. So, one of the ways to get around this is to notice that there is an illusion. And I feel like a DC 15... let's do... Intelligence... Investigation. Check. Reveals... what is it? Discontinuous flooring patterns? Discontinuous flooring patterns on the ground which correspond to the illusory floor, to the illusory pits, to the boundaries of the illusory pits. Alright, cool. A DC 15 wisdom perception check reveals... What would this reveal? This would reveal the rumbling of... reveals the rumbling of guttural creatures. Will reveal the guttural snoring of slumbering creatures nearby. Okay. So really there's no way to deactivate the trap. You can of course dispel magic the floor if you want. Dispel magic or dispel magic, fairy, fire, or sea invisibility will reveal the floor, the pit coverings to be illusions and reveal the pits for what they are. Excellent. Okay, cool. So we have this so far. There's still so much more I want to work on. As you scroll down, you see I've still got Crypt Guardians here. I've got Hand Trap, and I've also got this one here, Guiding Light. So I've actually wrote a little bit about this beforehand, while I was at work. And the general idea is that you're going to come across a room of complete darkness. You are back. What did you miss? Well, we just finished up writing the illusory pit trap with the purple worms. But it is a bit late for me, so I am going to end the stream at some point soon. I just want to go through this last trap that I have in mind. So, with the Guiding Light, what I imagine is very much like the gym in, where was it? Ecrutex Town, or Ecrutex City, in Pokemon Gold and Silver, in Johto, where you basically walk along a suspended invisible bridge along this, like, area of, like, darkness, right? And, like, there's a statue that points over towards, like, another area within the darkness. it will point to another statue, which then points somewhere else, and following the pointer will kind of give you the rough idea of where this invisible bridge is going to be. A concubine can simply fly over the bridge and land to where the next statue is, and so on and so forth. But everyone else has to probably follow along this invisible path. And I feel like there's going to be like a guiding light that comes out of the statue that like kind of goes into the direction of where this this thing is meant to be. And I might even trace the path of it on in Foundry, and just give the people one attempt to see what path it is that they took. So I feel like that would be a good way to do this, and that path would obviously be the correct path of the invisible bridge. But again, since it's invisibility, you can disarm the invisibility by using normal invisibility repelling spells. But I have the idea of there being these runes that float out in the middle of the darkness that you can shoot at if you see them, and that will like increase your vision range a little bit, right? But that's going to be the idea for that room, and I don't know exactly where to put that in our DPS here, in our map. Man, this takes a while to work on, doesn't it? Like, the only thing I've gotten done so far, like the only thing that I've added onto this map is just this one extra room. But I feel like we fleshed out the room, pun intended, pretty nicely, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna have to make some flooring tiles to cover all of these pit traps, really. But yeah, and then once this is done, the angel is not gonna withdraw his wings. But once they've passed this room, they can head to the next room, and at some point I want this invisible bridge room to be a thing. So that's going to be something I'm going to be working on between now and the start of the game. I might have another stream at some point in between now and Tuesday, just to work on this a little bit more, because I really feel like we get a lot out from the stream. Much room, many traps. Absolutely. And again, all this effort is going into something that the players might not even want to go to. So that is just the life of a dungeon master, honestly. I'm working on this because I think it's fun. There are also the mainline quests that I can work on as well, such as the Dancer's Stone quest, the Lover's Stone quest, the Huntsman's Stone quest. The party, by the way, I was saying this for Liger's sake, but the party right now, they want to go out and find the stones of these creatures. The Watcher, the Huntsman, the Wild Huntsman, the Dancer, the Lover, and I think there was one more that you guys are looking into. But they need to find those stones to progress the main story, essentially. Or that's one way to progress the main story. That's the way that they look like they're going to take. So I still need to prepare the plots for them. I've already got the plots in mind, and pretty much like the whole theme of each one of the arcs is all good so far. And I just need to like flesh out everything around it, right? But yeah, Garden doesn't even know what we're doing. That's the curse of being a new character in a party that has been operating for years at this point. You are Garden is in the dark, essentially. This also applies to Daniel and his character, who's literally from another plane of existence, and literally only came here because a strange alien creature came through a portal from the material plane. So his character, Storm, has no idea what's going on with the politics of the world or anything like that. And it's just, hey, I need to, stop these aliens from coming through, because they broke through and killed like a ton of our guard in the portal that we maintain. So it's obviously a threat, so I want to be here on this side of things to stop the threat from happening. But yeah, that is everything, I think. Let me see who is busy streaming right now. Twitch. Let's see who we can send you guys to. Let's see. The Hedge Witch is currently streaming Super Animal Royale. I think that is going to be who I will raid. Alright. So, let's head on back to our intermission screen here. Let's go ahead and turn on our Foundry. Oh, Foundry doesn't work on the screen. That's alright. Let's go ahead and do raid. We are raiding. We are raiding the Hedge Witch. So the Hedge Witch is a artist, streamer, VTuber who goes by the name of Moss. They use they/them pronouns. I am going to go ahead and hit this raid button. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream, and I will see you all next time. Time to raid. Absolutely.